Could your starter home be the first step to building real wealth? If you've built up some equity and you're thinking about moving up, you could rent out your current home instead of selling it. In Charlotte's growing market, that one decision could set you up for passive income and financial freedom. So let's talk about how to turn your first home into your first rental and start building your portfolio. Why this strategy works is because the Charlotte market is still growing and people are still moving here every year. That means steady rental demand, especially for affordable single-family homes. By keeping your first home as a rental, you're building wealth in two ways. One, by cash flow, and two, by long-term appreciation. But before you rent it out, there are a few things you may want to check. And that is going to start with your loan and your numbers. First, look at your current mortgage. If it's a low fixed rate, then you're in great position. Next, look on Zillow, Realtor.com, and check the local rental comps. Then you're going to want to subtract your mortgage, taxes, insurance, and other maintenance. Even if you're breaking even, it can still make sense with the long-term appreciation. For preparing for tenants, you may want to update the flooring, paint, fixtures, and lighting. Now that the numbers make sense, the home is ready, how do you actually manage tenants? You can do that by yourself, or you can hire a property manager. Property managers do vary, especially based off location and demand, but expect anywhere from 8 to 10% of your rental income. Now that that property is generating income, you have equity, you can do what is called a cash out refinance or a HELOC. Pull that equity out and reinvest it into another property and get another appreciating asset with cash flow. And if you're thinking about investing in a property, understand there are two different strategies. There's an appreciating market and a cash flow market. In appreciating market, you may not see the cash flow up front. You may be breaking even, but long term, that area may be better and you may generate more income later. In a cash flow market, you may see more income up front. The cash flow may be better, but it may not appreciate as much. So it depends on your pros and cons and your long-term versus short-term goals. But in order to make this work, you have to have the right guidance. I have helped buyers and investors across North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia run their numbers, take a look at the data, and figure out what makes sense for them to build real wealth. If you feel like you're in this situation or would like more information or have questions, reach out. My number is 704-903-3132. And as always, if you found this video helpful, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.